Today I would like to share an overview on Mathnavi. It's book 3 or Daftar Son. Mathnavi of Maulana Rum. For Mathnavi, Maulana Abdurrahman Jami has rightly said, Mathnavi, Maulvi, Omanavi, Hast Quran, Darzuban, Pahlavi. So this is the third book of Mathnavi, and this is the translation by great scholar R.A. Nicholson. And it is a beautiful book, book 3 or Daftar Son. It starts with these lines: Aiziaul Haq Osamuddin Bayar hi Som Daftar ke Sunnat Shud sa bar bargusht Ganji na Israr Ra Dar Som Daftar ba Pehl Azar Ra Quwat Haq मीज़हद न अज़रू के कुछ हरारत मी जहद इंच रागे शम्स को रोशन बोध इंच न अज़ कीलो पंबा न अज़ फतीलो पंबा व रोगन बोध सकफ गर्दों को ऊचुनी दायम बोध न अज़ तुनाबो उस्तनी कायम बोध. So it starts with these lines that, O light of the truth, Osamuddin, bring this third book, for 3 times has become a sunnah. Open the treasury of mysteries. In respect of the third book, leave excuse alone. Your power flows from the power of God, not from the veins with throb because of heat. This lamp, the sun, which is bright, it is not by means of wick and cotton and oil. The vault of heaven, which is so enduring, is now supported by tent rope or pillar. Sakaf gardon ko chuni dayam bod, aztanabo ustani kayam bod. Shah Abdul Latif Bhai has also said that re thambe re thuniye tu chhapar tu chha kujado kahan badai malum toke. So this Mathnavi, actually Mathnavi is book of reason, book of knowledge and its spiritual awakening. The Mathnavi consists of 3 books, and 3 books contain 25,000 couplets. It was composed between 1258 and 1273 till the death of Maulana Rumi. Book 3 marks a very much transition from disciplining the ego, as we have discussed in book 1 and 2, to cultivating knowledge and spiritual intelligence. Central themes of this book are relationship between reason and love, akal and ishq. Reason is the shadow, but love is the sun. Maulana Rumi rightly says, reason is the shadow, but love is the sun. When sun rises, the shadow disappears. The second major theme is true knowledge versus borrowed knowledge. Rumi Sahib says, borrowed knowledge remains on the trunk. True knowledge descends into the heart. That is the difference between both of the types of knowledge. Third theme is self-recognition as the path to God. Maulana Rumi says, search not for God outside yourself. Search not for God outside yourself. Polish your own heart. Shah Abdul Latif Bhai as rightly says that akhar pad alfajo vark byavisar andar tu jar pana padande ketra. And fourth theme is sincerity and purification of intention. Maulana Rumi says the value of every act lies in its intention. The value of every act lies in its intention. A lifeless body has no spirit. And fifth theme is the limitations of worldly intellect. The partial intellect sees only the surface. Rumi Sahib says the partial intellect sees only the surface. The universal intellect sees reality. And sixth theme is divine guidance and inner awakening. And about it, Rumi Sahib has reflected, when the heart becomes empty of self, it is filled with the light of God. So these are 6 themes in this book 3 of Mathnavi. And major stories and parables presented by Rumi Sahib in this daftar are Moses and the shepherd, and the lion and the beasts, the grammarian and the boatman, the elephant in the dark, the man seeking treasure, and these stories illustrate hypocrisy, pride, and self-deception. So, Rumi's distinction between reason and love. Rumi Saab says that reason is valuable but has limits. He says, अकुल जुज़वी अकुल रा बदनाम करद काम दुनिया मर्द रा नाकाम करद. Partial intellect has brought true intellect into disrepute. The pursuit of worldly desires leaves people unfulfilled. And then love leads to direct knowledge of God. He focuses on ishq. Akul dar sharash जो खर दर गुल बजुफ्त शरह इश्को आशिकम हम इश्क गुफ्त. Reason in explaining love lay helpless like an ass stuck in the mud. The explanation of love and lovers can only be given by love itself. Very much beautiful thought presented by Rumi Sahib, that reason in explaining love lays helpless like an ass stuck in the mud, while the explanation of love and lovers can only be given by love itself. And then he says about spiritual realization surpasses the intellectual argument. He says that spiritual realization is surpassing one. पाए स्तद लालियां चूबी बुद्ध पाए चूबी सख्त बेतम की बुद्ध. The feet of those who rely only on argument are made of wood. Wooden feet are weak and unstable. Then Rumi comes on the knowledge in this Daftar Som or book 3. He differentiated between acquired knowledge, experiential knowledge, knowledge purified by humility. So these 3 types. Acquired knowledge, books and learning. Ilm taklidi wabale jambod ariyat bashad nanure jambod. Imitative or borrowed knowledge is burden upon the soul. Imitative knowledge is the burden upon soul. It is only on loan. It is not the soul's own light. Experiential knowledge or marfat or gnosis. Ilm ambashid ke jaan zinda kunat. Mardara payanda wa payanda kunat. True knowledge is that which gives life to the soul. True knowledge is that which gives life to the soul, making a person enduring and spiritually alive. And the third type of knowledge purified by humility, it becomes wisdom. Har kira ilm az tawaz shud kari, ilm o shud noor haq namakaro ki. When knowledge is joined with humility, he focuses not only knowledge, but he wants to mix up knowledge with humility, incoupled by humility. It becomes God's light, not pride or hostility. Then Rumi reflects on human ego or nafs. He reflects about pride or kibr. He says it is the great obstacle in the path of Marifa. Illat iblis ana khairun budast vi marz dar nafs har makhluk ast. Satan's downfall was the claim that I am better. This same disease exists within every human soul. How he has explained the kibr or pride. Self-purification through remembrance, love and service. जिक्र हक सैकल दहद आइनरा पाक गर्दानंद जंग ई सीनरा. The remembrance of God polishes the mirror. It cleanses the heart of its rust. And he says spiritual growth requires overcoming selfish desires. Nafs ajdast oke murdast az gam be alati afsardast. The lower self or nafs is a dragon. It is never truly dead. It merely appears weak when deprived of opportunity. Then there is great symbolism discussed in this book as light. Light is divine illumination. The heart perceives reality. Ocean. Ocean is God's infinite reality, union beyond limitations. Mirror. The purified heart reflecting the divine beloved. Journey. The soul's quest toward God through seeking and suffering. Fire. Divine love that purifies and elevates the soul. Birds. Souls ascending towards spiritual freedom and union. Treasure. Hidden divine wisdom and inner realization. King and servant. The relationship between God and the humble seeker. So these are a few symbols which have been discussed in this book 3 of the Mathnavi. And this book has also Quranic influence too, and it has literary features too. So Quranic influence is in form of it has mentioned Quranic stories, names of prophets, hadith, moral, parables, and also spiritual interpretation rather than literal narration. And as far as literary features of this book are concerned, that it has story within a story. As Rumi has set the tone of his total thesis, and he focuses on dialogue and great symbolism to express and explain his thesis, and also somewhere he uses humor, paradox, and poetry blended with philosophy, and he frequently shifts between narrative and spiritual commentary. So it is very interesting feature of the Mathnavi Rumi. This book or the Daftar Som or book 3 gives universal messages that truth lies beyond appearances. Truth lies beyond appearances. Whatsoever you are seeing, that imagery and reality lies beyond it. Chon kashab rang ha mastur bod. Every human possesses divine potential. Divine potential in every person. Kabinam kulzami dar katra. That drop has also characteristics of water of the ocean. Love turns knowledge into wisdom. Ilm chon bar dil zanad bari bar chon dil zanad yari shod. And last but not the least, humility as the path to enlightenment. Illate iblis ana khair budast, and he wants to remove that thing that I am the better. And all the themes of this book are Daftar Som or book 3 have great relevance to the contemporary issues as materialism, identity crisis, and artificial intelligence versus human wisdom. If we are focusing on materialism, then Rumi Sahib says, "In jahan khwabast wa machon khiftagan, aanch bini nest juz nakshe guma." This world is like a dream, and we are as sleepers. What you see is only an appearance. So he focuses on the temporariness of the world and tries to train the human behavior that not rely only on the world. And when he reflects on identity crisis, he says, "Tab beenam kul zami dar kat raha hai, aftabe darj andar zar raha hai." That I might blended an ocean within a drop, and a sun enclosed within a particle. And he takes human being from that identity crisis, and he mentions it and draws their attention that what is your status as a human being and how you have declined in intellectual journey. So remain at your own status. You are the drop of the sea. You are the particle of the sun. And though artificial intelligence was not in the days of Maulana Rumi, however, his verses reflect that type of reflections. Ilm chun bardil zanad yari shud, ilm chun bartan zanad bari shud. There are two types of knowledge. When knowledge enters the heart, it becomes a friend. Knowledge to the heart is a friend. The knowledge that is beneficial to the human being and nature is a friend. When it remains only external, it becomes a burden. When the knowledge is only for profit's sake, for only mundane benefits, it becomes great burden. And a religious tolerance in these days. He says, Noor Hakra nest ziddi dar wujud, tab zid u tawa paida noga. The light of God has no opposite in existence. Therefore, it cannot be known through opposition. So, he tries to focus on religious tolerance, and then comes the inner peace. He says, Zikr haq aram jaan momin ast, jaan zikrash az game alam ast. The remembrance of God is the soul's tranquility. Through his remembrance, the soul is freed from worldly sorrow. And then comes the ethical leadership. Illate iblis ana khair budast vi marazdar nafse har makhluk ast. Satan's downfall was his claim that I am the better. And this disease exists within every human soul. And if we are concluding this overview, then we can say that book 3 is the book of spiritual intelligence. It teaches harmony of reason and love. चूंकि शब आ रंग हा मस्तूर बोध बस दीद रंग अजनूर बोध. When night concealed all colors, you realize that seeing color depends upon light. Harmony of reason and love. Akul kul ra guft maaz aansue akul meeroyam andar makame sidke nakul. The universal intellect says we journey beyond ordinary reason, entering the station of truth. And it invites readers from information to transformation. ताब बीनम कुल जमी दर कतरा है आफताबे दर्ज अंदर जरा है. And from knowledge to wisdom, नूर चश्म खुद नूर दिल अस्त, नूर चश्म अज नूर दिल हा हासिल अस्त. The light of the eye is the truly light of the heart. The eye receives its light from the heart. So that is the relationship between eye and heart. In this way, this whole book shares very much good thoughts on knowledge, on wisdom, and on love. Thank you very much.